shit. It's ridiculous. I'm going to send these people over here. Yeah, that's why I like it. Supposedly it's a lot better. These people, I'm going to tell them to come over here. Superwoman. Okay. I think it exacerbates mental illness. Wait till these people find out the new chat board. Not a bunch of moderators coming in here and wrecking it. Jesus drank wine, Michelle. He turned the well water to wine. Yeah, I'm talking about just a social drink here and there. Nothing extravagant. You guys would not believe the crazies that I get writing emails all the time off some of those videos. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I like that lady, that one lady from North Carolina and that lady from Ann Arbor. But Superwoman, you notice they really opened up last night. Did you notice that? Oh, Julie, okay. For some reason I thought you were a guy. Sorry about that. You know, I do stuff like that all the time. Yeah, that's what I thought, Michigan Steve. Hey, Superwoman, you can just hide them right away when it's not depression or anxiety related. Does that sound good? Yeah, yeah, do it. That's the mantra here. No variation. It's a strict topic. You can give them one warning and then hit the highway. It was so weird, so many people on so late last night. Yeah, it's true. It's true. There were a lot of people on last night. I think I got on a little earlier though. I feel sorry for that Sherry in Ann Arbor. Hey Steve, from the topic. I'd rather have silence than off-topic subjects. Hey Kmart Radio. You know, Kmart Radio, we got a new channel now. It's about depression. See everybody on here now, or at least some people? The depression channel. That's all we're going to talk about is depression. So you can go search, just put in the depression channel, and you'll see the chat. It's the same thing you normally see on the other one. See right here? Yeah, with me, medication. Medication and shit luck. That's what I would describe it as, shit luck. Michelle, do you know what shit luck is? Do you know what that means? Yeah, do you know what it means, Michelle? Hey, Kmart Radio. Yeah, just keep it on topic, man. It's hard to do. I mean, you automatically seem like, you're being a jerk, but that's the whole idea of this. Yeah, shit luck is kind of, Superwoman's right. It's like say you were playing musical chairs and somebody kept sitting on a chair. That's shit luck. There's no skill to it. It's just some people just have the knack of when the music quits playing, being right over the top of a chair. That's what shit luck is. My dad used to mention it all the time. It's no skill or anything. It's just some people are shit lucky. All right, here we go, Kmart. I knew you'd be good over here. Patty, it's hard to say. There are a lot of, it just depends how your depression manifests itself. Zoloft's an old drug. There are better drugs out there now. It is, Michelle. It's funny. It just sums so many things up right away. Yeah, Patty, I mean, go on Google and look. Do you have insurance, Patty? Do you have insurance? You mean for like antidepressants, Steve? Yeah, there are many new medications out there. I was given a bunch of samples from a doctor buddy of mine that didn't do shit. Mine's chronic depression, I'm sure of that, but it took forever to like figure that out. Uh, just go Google them, Patty, and look at some of the newer drugs. You got to have a good doctor though, because you got to jump through hoops, and your doctor's got to verify that you didn't respond to the cheaper medications before you can get on the newer state of the art medications. You've got to show you failed on the other ones. And a lot of these doctors are lazy and they don't want to fill out the paperwork. So if you got one of those, it's going to be an uphill battle. But I would just experiment. It takes a while. The newer drugs start to work in 10 days to 2 weeks. The older ones, 6 to 8 months. Yeah, Shaniqua, I guarantee you there's a medication out there for you. Hey, Clint. Uh, Shaniqua, is it mainly just depression, or do you have the highs and lows like bipolar? Yeah, depression and anxiety are twins. Yeah, that's part of a mood disorder, spirit in the sky. It's normal. I'm the same way. Hormones with women, sure, that's a different take on it for sure. Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, to tell you the truth, Kmart Radio, if I wasn't depressed, I don't think I'd have any videos up. It doesn't, Patty. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. It's closely connected. But Patty, there are a lot more options now than there used to be. You can, do something on the internet. You can do an internet business. It's not quite the trap that it was. I think you just need a nice little vacation. That's what I have, Shaniqua. Chronic depression, big time, man. Shaniqua, are you married? Yeah, I don't think it's like bad intentions. I think they're just used to doing that, Superwoman. I know. It's going to be hard to police the thing, but it's got to be done unless it's going to turn into the other channel, which sucks. I'm the same way, Castaway Carney. I'm the same way, man. I'm the most negative thinking son of a bitch in the world. Just I've always been that way, even as a kid. I'm the same way. Oh, Michelle, wow. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a paradox too on with depression. I mean, there's there's really in between. I live in a small town, and I think I'm on the edge. I'm friends with a lot of people that are big shots in town, and I think and that's just shit luck. I didn't plan it that way. It worked out that way, and if it wasn't, I think I'd have been thrown under the bus and just treated like some kook that lives in the condos behind Walgreens. Yeah, that'll do it. Jail, there's a close relationship with being incarcerated. If you look up people likely to commit suicide, jail and prison are right at the top of the list. Hey, Danny, you see, we started another chat board on depression. It's about depression and anxiety. See, it's called the Depression Channel, and you're welcome to come on over there and chat with us. Oh, that sucks, Shaniqua. Shaniqua, you need a vacation as well. Bexaline, that's Prozac, isn't it, Clint? No, that's fluorophenifexine. Which one? What is venlafaxine? What's the brand name? Yeah, but I think Kmart, you can be just depressed and not bipolar. If you look up the definition of bipolar, these are days of mania. If you look at that stupid DSMN, that ridiculously idiotic psychiatric manual, they say to be bipolar, you just have to experience one episode of mania. What a crock of shit! How could you be bipolar and you only experience mania for 1 hour? I mean, it's just nuts. DSMN is to bill insurance companies. It's not a definitive, accurate book for a diagnosis, even though that's the gold standard for insurance companies. Yeah, Steve, you're a good guy. You just need a couple good years of like doing well. I don't know what that is, Clint. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh, okay, Michelle. Wow, you've been through the ringer. Oh, I believe it, Steve. That's a tough one. Yeah, that can happen, Castaway. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I have that problems too sometimes, Shaniqua. Not being able to get out of bed. Shaniqua, do you have like access to a good doctor or a some kind of facility that treats mental health? Hey, you guys, there's 12 people on the other channel and no one's saying a word. Yeah, well, we got something in common, Kmart Radio. Yeah, Castaway Carney, isn't that the truth? Well, I think it helps being able to get on here and talk about that. Just go up to the search box, Danny, and type in the Depression Channel, and you'll see the same view that you saw in the other chats. That light, out in the yard behind a Walgreens. Just type in the Depression Channel, and you'll see a live chat come up. See the other people on here from the other channels? Yeah, that's okay, Steve. Come around. Yeah, it's no kidding, Shaniqua. No one's been as low as I have. Oh, good, Danny. Hey, Shaniqua, don't feel bad about that. I know the feeling. I wish the hell Sherry would come on here from Ann Arbor. Now, Danny, let's see. Danny, are you pretty religious too, Danny? I can't remember that. I think you are, aren't you? Yeah, see, people are coming over now. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Now, there will be people that don't like talking about this and that will not come over, but that's okay. You know, Superwoman, you'll appreciate this. I'm free to be able to not give a shit about subscribers or views. I'm free. Yeah, I'm showing what we're talking about here. Now it's down to 6 because if you see the count, here's 14. Oh, here's Stages. Hi, folks. Glad to be with you. Yeah, glad you came over. It does, Shaniqua. It really does. But you should be able to have access to medication, whether you do or whether you don't. Shaniqua, now you're in Chicago, right? I think it is, Clint. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that, Danny. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with depression that the problem I have is let's say I'm really super depressed and I've been through the ringer and I've been locked up a couple times and in a couple mental hospitals, which I have been. And let's say I'm thinking of killing myself and I want to talk to somebody about that. So somebody gets on the internet and they call the local police department and they come over to my house and they can get sued if they don't check on you. And if you don't answer the door, they can break it down. So let's say I answer the door like I did last time and they said, "Are you thinking about killing yourself?" And I say, "Well, as a matter of fact, I am." And they said, well, they grab me by the wrists and they handcuff me and they take me to a psychiatric hospital. And they take me to a regular hospital. Oh, Grand Rapids. That's the Bible Belt, Shaniqua. And they say to me, "Are you thinking of killing yourself?" And I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am thinking it." Then they find a bed at the nearest psychiatric hospital they can find. Now, the last time that happened to me, it was about 260 miles away. And you get charged for all this bullshit. So it's not right that you can't discuss this with somebody. It's either you're keeping your mouth shut and you're getting worse, or you're admitting what you're thinking about and you're getting locked up, incarcerated, or involuntarily admitted to a psychiatric hospital. That's my complaint about the whole thing. Yeah, it happened to me. I swear to God, Danny, it happened to me. So yeah, I do. I mean, there's been a couple times in the last month I've come very close to calling it quits, and it's not like a. No, I know it's Superwoman. I found out who it was. I mean, I think she had good intentions. I don't know that it was good intentions or melodrama. Not 100% sure, but it's hard for me to fault somebody for that because they don't have enough information to know if it's legit or not. That's it, Castaway Carney. And I'm telling you, if you ever do admit it, you make sure that you go in as a voluntary admission compared to an involuntary admission. It's night and day, the consequences down the road. Yeah, Patty, that's true. See, and if you're really feeling that way, Patty, it's a crying shame that you're unable to talk about it. And that's what makes people go over the edge. It's what, at least in my case, I think that's what causes you to become fragile. You're on eggshells because you're corralled into doing something just based on an ignorant standard. Yeah, Steve, what they call that they call that suicide ideation. Ideation, Ideation. Oh wow. See, Michelle, geez. Oh yeah, I got a huge bill too. I'm still paying off the ambulance bill and I had insurance. Yeah, it's true, Patty. Yep. Oh, good for you, Castaway Carney. That's great. Yeah, Steve. I mean, it's nobody needs to like explain to anybody their depression unless it's voluntary on their part. I mean, it's private thoughts, but at least in my experience, I think it seems to get worse if you don't. It's one thing talking to someone that's never had depression. It's another thing talking to someone that has depression just like I do. Yeah, my mental hospital stays, one of them was a good experience. It is Shaniqua Jones. I agree. It's ridiculous. You should be able to tell anybody, feel good about it, and then get you on the right path. And in this day and age, to not have access to things that could help you is just mind-boggling. I mean, just think of how much it's cost you, Shaniqua, thinking the way you do. Your dreams, your educational aspirations, all sorts of shit. I dropped out of college a couple times because of depression. I didn't know that that's what it was at the time, but I do now. Yeah, great, Patty. Glad to have you. It is very risky to talk about. Yep. Well, thank you, Michelle. Oh yeah, I was in a crazy mental hospital. Traverse City, Danny, which you would think would be one of the better ones. What's that, Castle? Hotlines. Look, I can only speak for myself, but the hotlines, to me, were total bullshit. It seemed to me like they were reading off a typewritten manuscript and telling me to do things that I'd already tried long before I thought about killing myself. I thought the hotlines, I think the hotlines are just federally funded bullshit. I'm a firm believer in a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. If you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, psychologists may work. If you've got a biochemical imbalance, a genetic component to your mental illness, or what, I hate to even call it mental illness. You want to go to a psychiatrist, an experienced psychiatrist. Look, you've got a chemical problem, and medication can help that. You too, huh, Danny? I say medication's the way to go. This isn't like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and you're bouncing into walls or you can't maintain a job or go to college because you're on these drugs. That's like a myth. Yeah, hotlines and text apps. What horse shit. There are some arguments for chocolate and what it does for mental health. I mean, the studies are iffy, but people claim to get relief from them. Although, if you read books about placebos are right up there with the real McCoy, and sometimes even have better results than the real medication. That's no shit. They've come up with some new study at Harvard a couple years ago, where rather than it to be a double-blind study is where the patient doesn't know what they're getting, and the doctor doesn't know what he's given to the patient. That's a double-blind study. Well, they've come up with studies at Harvard where they tell people, we're going to be giving you a placebo, and they still get better, even though it's a sugar pill. I bought a couple books on it. I haven't read it yet. Yeah, in this day and age, with regard to depression, you shouldn't be on anything that makes you feel like a zombie. Yeah, pretty much, Castaway Carney. Yeah, I would agree with that. And Michelle, no disrespect to you, but I've read quite a few studies where they say if you're really having a problem with your mental health, the worst place you can go is to a religious facility, to a priest or a preacher or reverend, that they're going to tell you that this is all related to like accepting God and stuff when you've got a chemical imbalance. I'm telling you, man, the people that go to these people are fare very poorly. That's right, Castaway Carney. They're not. It's not like Thorazine or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I believe that, Tejas. I believe that. Yep, I do. Oh, it's a chemical imbalance. I'm sure of that. I think many factors play into it, but I think it's a chemical imbalance. I do. And there's documentation and studies to prove this. Keep trying, Danny. There's something out there for you. There are a lot of newer ones out that have come out in the last couple years. You may have been taking too much. You may have been taking not enough. You may have been taking it at the wrong time. Let me give you an example. So I'm on this damn Lamictal, which is an off-label use drug for seizures, and Remeron, which is for depression and sleep. And I tried to cut down the Lamictal. So I cut it down, and I started getting insomnia. And it's like, God. So I went back and took the full dose. Well, I realized later that the reason that I was getting insomnia is because when you cut down the dosage of Lamictal, that's kind of a withdrawal. And the side effect is insomnia. So less medication was causing me to withdraw from it. So I had to stretch it out further. But if I hadn't read up on it, I'd have thought, well, I got to get back on this full dose of Lamictal to feel like I did before. God, I guess I need this. I can't ever go off it. It was the exact opposite. And I spread it out over about a 10-week period. I only take like 25 milligrams, which they claim isn't therapeutic, and I sleep like a baby. That's because I'm over the withdrawal. So I didn't need more, I needed less, but I needed to spread the lower dose over a long period of time. Hormones as well, yeah, with female. I believe it. It's just trial and error on a lot of this stuff. It sucks. It's not like one size fits all. If you go to an architect and you say, look, it's a 3-car garage, and this is what I want it to look like. He'll draw you what you asked him to draw. Medicine isn't like that. It's not like building a house. Yeah, I don't get the allergy meds for anxiety. That's nuts. Yeah, really, it's terrible, but it's very complex. You got the brain, which we're still kind of in the dark ages with regard to how it works. Yeah, that's good, Michelle. That's good. Put it in a good context. Well, thank you, Tejas. Appreciate it. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Like I said earlier, if I wasn't depressed, I wouldn't have any videos up. I mean, I never felt I was that much different than any of the women that I interviewed, to tell you the truth, other than no one would pay me to have sex with them. Yeah, it's great we can just talk about this openly. Oh, thank you, Cameron. Hey, now, let me tell you guys one thing before I forget, and that is that I'm 63, so I don't really give a shit. I'm at the end of the road. I could get away with not working if I had to, and I can get away with people not liking me and not being able to sabotage my career because of my age. Where if you're younger, you live in a small town or something like that, you guys want to be careful about your ID on chat boards like this, and I'll tell you why. Because if you have any enemies, anybody can download this chat later on, and they can keep it forever, and they can use it against you. They can download this everything that I say and everything that's in the chat and save it on an SD card. So keep that in the back of your mind. If you're concerned about that or you think it could be used against you down the road, I would highly suggest you get an ID that doesn't show where you live, who you really are, etc. Because there's nothing like forever. It's just like people that make pornographic movies. Forever is a long time, and a lot changes between when you're 20 years old and make one and when you're 40 years old and you have a great relationship with two nice kids and you just as soon have that part of your life a secret. So be very careful. Danny, I don't know if that's your real name, but you guys want to think about this is with regard to staying anonymous because it can bite you in the ass. Oh, sorry about that, Danny. Be careful with that Tylenol. There's some pretty good studies out there. First of all, Tylenol's for pain. And secondly, Tylenol has Benadryl in it, the PM, and there's some pretty good studies out there that associate long-term use of Benadryl with dementia and Alzheimer's. Just think about it. Hang in there. Good talking to you. You're welcome anytime. Yeah, it's true, Michelle. Yep, it's get used against you. Wish Sherry and that other lady from North Carolina would come on. I know they'd enjoy this chat. Here's 5 people on the other board not saying a word. Probably the goddamn NSA. Now it's down to 3. They'll never know to come over to this channel if we don't tell them. Yeah, Patty. Oh, here we go. There's Martin Walters. Yeah, there's a couple people on here. Now, have you guys come on this chat before and talked? Good night, Steve. Good talking to you. Thank you. Glad, nice having you around. Yeah, eating's associated with depression. You know why, Kmart? It's linked to serotonin, which you'll get by eating lots of carbohydrates. Increases your serotonin levels. I think you're already over here now, Danny. Hey, Martin, we started another chat board about depression and anxiety. I don't know if that would interest you or not. Good night, Steve. Yeah, are you guys interested in like depression? Because that's what we're talking about on a different channel. Yeah, Kmart Radio. A reason to kick Pop is, hey, Retro Mike, we got a new channel, the Depression Channel. See it here? Depression Channel. Martin, come on over to this other channel we got, Depression Channel. That's the name of it. See it there in yellow? Yeah, just type in the Depression Channel and you'll see that live chat come up, Mike. Superwoman's over there and some other people. Hoping Sherry from Ann Arbor comes on here. We're just limited to depression conversations and info. Oh, there you go, Straight Talk. Great. Oh, great. Thanks, Steve. You find it, Mike? Martin, you should get over there any minute. Yeah, depression sucks, man. Yeah, I prefer when it goes as well. Yeah, Mike, good job. Found it. I'm glad this channel isn't too hard to find. You know, I've tried finding channels on here a bunch of times. I can't ever find them. I'm not shitting you. I'll put it in just like it comes across in a chat, and I still can't find a goddamn thing. I think I'm going to go with this one more often because it gets down to the nitty-gritty of stuff that people seem to be interested in. It's just nice if you suffer from this to be able to talk about it without, you know, talking about cookie recipes and dogs and all that shit. Yeah, I wonder where that damn Sherry is tonight. She was really down last night, I thought. Oh, that's good, Kmart Radio. Great. Yeah, tell them about it. Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, good. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to come on this one probably every day, Tejas, just like we did the old one, except it'll be more of a topic of depression all the time rather than, you know, anything that comes to anybody's mind. Oh, good. I'm glad for you, Retro Mike. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm not kidding you, man. It sucks. Oh, do you straight talk? Which one? Just major depression? Yeah, it's true. Hoarding is the same way, Patty. Hoarding. If you get really depressed, you don't even feel like taking a shower and stuff like that. Yeah, good, Tejas. That's great. Nah, I never fooled with that shit, Martin. I never did do it, man. I don't know why I'm so resistant to that. I guess, I don't know. After we get this channel going, we're gonna start another one. It's gonna be called Depression and Transgender. It's just gonna people be for people. It's true, Michelle. I think that's my antique problem. Yeah, my mom was like that, Patty. You really noticed it. I don't think she cleaned the house once a year. Okay, Clint, thanks. No, we're gonna figure everything out sooner or later. Yeah, I think it is compulsive buying. Yeah, a lot of people are like that, straight talk. Yeah, eBay. That's no kidding, Michelle. Tell me about it. Oh, okay, Martin. Cool.